we have an option for EMEA folks as well. So that's the option if you see here, 8 p.m. AST. So that actually idea was to so that we can cater everybody in there into this session. Now, when it comes to the timelines, this is not the only session which you will find today. There are more sessions coming in few weeks. If you see the calendar here, this is what we are here today. So today we are going to talk about on Viva Connections and the stuff on that part. Then in in exactly on the in a week we'll again have one more session which is more about learning the technical steps. Today we'll all show you the basic stuff. When it comes to the basic in the scenes, will you show where the product is really, where is customer adoption and all. That's what we are going to discuss it today. And Viva as a product, some of the features on the Viva as a product. And in consecutive sessions, as I said, there are a few 3 sessions again in coming 3 weeks, which you see here. Uh, we'll go more deep dive on it. So we also have a session on Engage. Um, Again, that's on the 21st of Feb, and then 28th we have the last session with this on this series, which will again have some technical steps, capabilities. We'll discuss more on Engage stuff predominantly. Right. So let's go with the today's session. Again, let me introduce myself first of all. My name is Zahur Ahmed. I'm based out of India, and I'm part of the customer hub team. I also have few people with me today. Bharat, but he's also from Microsoft India. Again, he looks into the Viva connections. I have Amit, I have Heather, and Vishal and Fernando. So Amit and Vishal, Vishal will answer those questions, the technical questions. You can put it in them, and they will also go through on some of the slides. So as I said, if you have any questions, you can put them under the chat. The people here on the call will try to answer those. But yeah, again, we have at the end, we have a question and an answer sessions, which where we can just discuss on those. All right. So first of all, why are we here? If you uh, see the Microsoft statement, I mean, in Microsoft, we believe empowering every person. It's our organization statement. If you talk about this, uh, we want to empower every person in our organizations, and with the help of modern work, customer success, we want to accelerate, a digital experience. With our customers, and also the tech strategy. I mean, we have a teams, tech strategy teams, who again are working very closely with customers to unblock certain strategic engagements, or there are certain blocking technical stuff which they work very tightly with that. So that's our goal. That's what we are here. Again, we are going some of the things. For example, customer is actually bringing the people, bringing the customer together, and here out there, where there's something blocking on those lines, and how Microsoft experts can really help them go, have them a discussion with them, especially when we are in this hybrid culture, right? We are really dwelling in a more in the hybrid culture. So that's what we are. We just want to engage with the customers, see where are those pains. If we can work on them, some strategies we can unblock. If there are any stuff which is which really we can dwell into. Now, as I said in the earlier slide, which you said, saw, there are four sessions which we are, and obviously the Microsoft and the customers. Our goal is to let that journey with the Microsoft Viva, and aim is to improve the respective organizations' employees. In this part, we want all of our customers. Some of you all already are here. We want actually their ideas as well. If they think something, they can provide those ideas. If something can be changed in those topics, or they want to discuss certain points in the coming weeks. For example, whatever we discussed today, if some of you thinks that okay, we would just want to leverage certain features and just want to discuss on those lines as well, again, happy to take those conversations back, and we can when the upcoming sessions, we'll just try to see we can accommodate those as well. Now, again, how do you get and help as a progress through this journey, since we are here today? Now, today we'll more talk about some business values on connection and a Viva as a Viva connection and a Viva engage, and some of the steps. For example, understand what are the technical aspects of when we deploy connections and Viva engage. We are mostly focusing on Viva connections here, and again, there's a channel, a community channel. You can put your questions there. In the next sessions which are there, you will need to learn more on executive briefing on Microsoft technology centers. There are workshop deliveries by our architect and engineers, which is typically our Microsoft intellectual properties. If you need help with the deployment, we have a fast track team who actually you can take a benefit from them. There is an RFA for request for assistance. They help customers to jumpstart with the jumpstart partners to, if the customer needs any help in the deployment, then Microsoft Industry MCS is one of the arm which we have. Again, they help customers if they need any deployments. That's more on a deployment perspective. And if you need a driving help from Microsoft while driving an adoption, again, we have CSMs, which is our go-to contact for customers, which again help customers to support any unblockers if there are any blocking, uh, so they can help there. And we have partners who are specialized in the adoption as well, which who have already done a lot of projects in this space. They can also help improve the adoptions. And if you are blocked in a deployment or adoption, uh, obviously CSM, a person who can be invited in the event, and he can uh, led up their people, and he can plug in those people who can help it, and can unblock those deployment options if their customer is. Obviously, good news is you all have here your CSM will be a single point of contact now. Now, the CSM is all driving. Which is a customer success manager, is driving all those adoptions. They help customers in and out, which is again a part of a tech strategy, which you saw in earlier slides. Now, coming back to the Viva as an employee experience, right? Most of us must be knowing Viva is a part of a product which is basically on Microsoft, employee experience. We just want to improve employee experience, especially the environment which we are working right now, right? The hybrid environment is there. It has been now from few years, right? And it is still going on. If you see some of the statistics here uh, on this slide, 73% of people still want to, are flexible for remote work. They still want an option to stay, and there are some people, leaders, want a major change to flexible part of working policies which the organizations carries. And obviously there are employees who just want to be in-person work after this pandemic, whatever the change happens. So again, hybrid will stay, and it is that's why the employee experience when it comes to the picture. So organizations really put a lot of efforts, and Microsoft, with the help of all the Microsoft tools, which is Viva as a product. Viva, as I said, Viva predominantly is a whole product, if a whole suite, which going to show you in coming slides, is actually focusing on an employee experience. Now, obviously, employees who are the driving force today, right? The organizations really want their employees, their engagements to be successful, because they know that the employees are their people are actually a driving force for the success, right? If we see again the statistics, some of here, 86% top performing companies are the digital training programs. Obviously, they take these features inside. They adopt these features so that they can increase those employee engagements. They can success. They can boost employee management and performance. So again, employee satisfaction again is one of the key area nowadays. Organization looks really deep into whether employees are satisfied or not, and learning and development, and they really put a lot of efforts, put a lot of investment on the learning and development. And in return, the profitability, every organization looks for a profitability, right? That's a common goal. And with this, organizations with the highly engaged people, which are again are coherent with these technologies, have a greater profitability. If you see a 21% greater profitability when people or when organizations engage employees with employee experience products and with these features. Again, some of you might not be aware what is an employee experience. I just want to run through this slide. So employee experience, there are a lot of, if you see, there are a lot of options here: well-being, growth, development. Now, this is employee experience is just helping that digital platform, which helps organization thrive their culture, engage people, and inspire leader, give them those sort of tool sets, which helps to identify where we can people in growth, where we can align our projects, which needs to be completed in a particular time. How are people are really satisfied when it comes to their well-being, when it comes to their culture and engagements. Obviously, there are organizations who want some feature sets where they want to engage their people in the knowledge and expertise, because every customer today, they have that knowledge and expertise. They want to invest on those knowledge and expertise so that their employees can grow, and they can obviously curve up with the technologies which is up there into the market. Now, introducing Microsoft Viva. So, if you there's a small video, I'm just going to run what is actually a Microsoft Viva. Let me see whether let me run it. Can you hear this? Can you hear it?
No.
No. Okay, one second. Let me just play with the audio 1 second. Can you hear now? Is it still on?
Zohar, you may want to just stop and start your sharing again.
Yeah.
And then select that input as well.
I already did that. Let me just include a sound again. Just confirm whether you can see.
Than ever before.
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Making it crucial to create a great employee experience that helps them thrive, connect, and stay in the flow of work. Now you can with Microsoft Viva, the first employee experience platform built for the hybrid era. Your people can interact with personalized experiences to discover company news, tasks, and conversations that help keep everyone connected.
Viva supports our employees to understand better the patterns over time. It empowers our managers and ultimately will help us to serve our customers more effectively and better.
access formal and informal learning when and where it's needed, making it easier for people to learn while working.
But the icing in the cake for us really is taking that information and surfacing it to the people that need it to be able to deliver the best possible services to our customers.
Easily access content and expertise across the organization, making it easy for people to find information and put knowledge to work.
Taking the insight, turning it into action becomes really easy. We look at this data in an aggregated way. Giving yourself personal time back is absolutely critical. And our leaders really believe in this and take on this challenge. And I've seen this insight propagate down through the whole organization.
Get data-driven insights and recommendations, improving productivity and well-being while staying connected to tools they already use.
The Microsoft Viva Insight really helped our associates be more productive, be more effective, and have a better quality of life. We are a well-being company. We need to deliver a great associate experience so that they can deliver a great customer experience.
Microsoft Viva. Empower people and teams to be their best.
Okay, so I mean, the video is about the same and the employee experience, right? How it helps customers. For example, some of the product it was talking about the Viva Insights, right? How customers are getting improvement on productivity and well-being on their employees. Now, again, if I talk about this slide, this is the whole Viva suite for all the feature sets which you see today here, and Viva Connection is an actually an umbrella on all the feature sets. Is actually a gateway of a modern employee experience, and idea was to to design to keep everyone engaged and informed, and Viva Connection obviously helps customers to customize the apps in the Teams, which is actually used on Microsoft Teams, and gives everyone, every customer, a personalized destination to discover relevant news, conversation, and the tools they need to succeed. Right? Typically, for example, in Microsoft, if I talk about in Microsoft, we have. I typically look on the new product feature releases. So I'm really focused on when those feature releases come in. So again, it gives us a very quick access to relevant information which a customer or a user or an employee needs up. Then in the connections we have also an amplify. Now amplify is more focused on it's a new product actually, which is used to bring a meaningful employee experience, which again drives the human connections to deliver some exceptional ideas. These connections obviously are key way to employees and employee experience technologies to achieve. Goal is to achieve more. So that's what the amplify brings with in Viva. Now Viva Insights, again, this is one of the I would say mostly used feature again, which helps customers to achieve productivity, well-being. It obviously gives a lot of reports on how employees are engaged with their day in day out works. Gives an information on that. And then when it comes to the then pulse is again helping information on what is a top of the mind with the employees. It actually helps energize employees when it comes to the Viva suits. Then comes to the Viva goals. Now Viva goals is designed, I would say, if you see is designed more on how to achieve particular alignment or a particular purpose for a work. For example, if you have any goals or a management solutions that align teams with the organization strategic priorities, and the goal is to drive results and thriving a business. That's what the Viva goals is all about. And when it comes to the topics again, one of the feature sets which again comes from the Viva umbrella. It's again helps customers to automatically organize content and expertise across your organizations. It's again helping customers to find relevant information, to put knowledge to their work. And learning is again customers who really want to have a growth mindset of their employees, priorities, growth priorities, learnings. So any questions? Sorry. All right. So again, learning helps customers to bring those learning curves, and then at the end you see a Viva sales again. This is being introduced to be again some sort of a bringing some sort of a AI in the combination with this Microsoft CRM, which helps customers to deliver real-time insights when it comes to automation, content, and all. Again, some of you might have used when we when we write our emails. The Viva Insight, Viva Sales gives a lot of informations. Is based on all those AI combinations, which is combined, and which gets us information from the product which is already deployed. And this is what all employees comes into the picture. Obviously, Viva Sales is a role-based experience, and on the bottom, if you see the Microsoft, the privacy and security is one of the huge area which we work on, and on that layer, everything comes with the granular features, access controls. There are permissions, and Microsoft have taken care of when it comes to the privacy and security concerns. Again, what are the platforms which people can utilize? I mean, some of the features, for example, briefing emails, which Viva Insights, where you get answers, admin experience, common navigations. And when it comes to the integration, a line of business applications, if customer wants to have an integration with these products, we are already doing a lot here. If you see, Workday is one of the feature which we are which we are integrated. Qualtrics, LinkedIn, Headspace we utilized in Viva Insights, SAP in learning, and there are many more product which gets all which is possible for integrations and drive customers if they have any line of business applications which they want to integrate with the Microsoft Viva suites. So again, the complete Viva suites will obviously bring employee experience. That's what the goal is. Now, when it comes to the Viva connection as a such, so you will see the whole employee experience, which in the landing page itself. For example, the dashboard, if you see here, it gives a lot of informations. With respect to your apps. For example, I gave you an example earlier. Uh, in Microsoft, I really look for those informations, which is really helpful. For example, product chains and all. And the quick dashboard helps me to quickly go into it, check those informations. And obviously, it's just in a one click. A dashboard gives a whole set of information. For example, here you will see a header here. And important thing, the header, if you see all the components of Viva, you will see in a one single pane. For example, here, everything comes in a one single pane. Then the resources, which you see on the bottom, it gives you a lot of depth in your corporate relevant informations, and it is at your fingerprints, right? I mean, we have seen experience in past. Employees really struggle to get those information which is really relevant to their work or day in day out information. For example, it is about the news, it is about the a company policies, career, growth, all of those. So that the dashboard, the connections gives you all on the single tip, and it's completely in a dashboard. Now, feed again helps to surface stories from people you care about, the key companies, news, and all, right? Uh, for example, I give you an example in a Microsoft. Uh, we get information what's happening in the market, what is the new, how we are helping our customers, what is best for that, and how new technologies are evolving inside. So again, that gives the feed, gives us the stories or success stories of the customers, how we really, and it helps inside of and all of us in Microsoft to get this experience and learn the new things. And again, in a single tips, we don't need to search that information, it's all in the single dashboard. Again, single entry point, you don't need to be have a separate options. If you see here on the top, Microsoft Viva, the landing page will give you all those options there. Engage, you can go to the engage, you can utilize sales, learning, amplify, insight, all of those. So Viva as a suite helps. uh, I mean, there are days, right? We know we have been seeing that in the past where different applications, different sets, different manageability, different tabs, right? Normally you need to manage those tabs. Now here the key benefit is that only one app you need to pin on the left of the teams, right? An employee can still pin individual apps, preferably whatever is preferred to them, but it actually helps employees reduce the number of pins in the organizations. For example, we might have seen a lot of pins and up, sometimes we really forget what are those pins which we have marked in the teams. But here a single landing page will give you all of those and you have a quick access, and it also points you to your internet home page as well. Again, you will see some of the rich dashboard, a lot of informations, right? I was talking about learning, for example, what are the upcoming learning for me? You'll see some of the tasks. I mean, if I talk about myself, I in times try to, I mean, I forget those tasks which is assigned to me. But this connection dashboard actually really helped me uh, to work on those tasks, or which even needs to be complete in a particular point in time, because at time we really forgot our timeline, which is very important. And then you have all those features. For example, book time, book your focus time, which is an insight feature. You don't need to switch on to the insights. You just really have go here, book this time, book your focus time. And again, earlier, as I said, the integrations with LOB applications, for example, Workdays and all, you will have those integrations with connections as well. And stories, again, I discussed about that. For example, some of the key strategy companies, new news, what we have done recently within Microsoft, what we have purchased, new stuff, new technologies evolving. Again, gives a very good information to employees, and putting them on the top of their shoes, so that they can really have a latest information available. Now, uh, again, the key company resources at your fingerprints. If you see here, you have news, you have top resources, for example, you have policies, career benefits, all of those. Obviously, it can be managed based on the customer needs, but a single option or single slide, if you see here, a single click, have all those. For example, what are the frequent sites you have utilized? What are the followed sites you have? Again, gives you some of the key resources of your company at your fingertips. And obviously, there could be a question: what are the recommended practices for engaged employees? There might be, you might have that question in your mind. What are the recommended practices where employees can be engaged? And some of the slides I'll just try through. For example, in Microsoft, when we were early into this product, we have our teams, like in fast track team, I talk about our field teams. We really build those early adoption programs in Viva. So that actually helps our customers, our partners, to cater all those technologies, and employees got benefit of them, their users got benefit of them. And since if you talk about this, how, and you can take the same example in your, when you talk about the early adoptions, what deployment, what adoption strategies, how you are, I mean, how the various features of connections can be used. So uh, I'll talk through some of the slides on the down, but yeah, we have some recommended practices, how you really engage those products, the connection talk about in high engagement success. For example, some of the best practices we have here, this is a 5 adoption recommendation practices which we have seen successful with our customers. For example, plan and resource your team for a weekly usage cadence. For example, look for those particular team where you find, for example, champion people. Look for those people who really can have a weekly cadence. Look for those who can initially start it up. Then along with that, the second point would be identify and build the cards. For example, look at what the cards you really look for it. For example, if I talk about it in Microsoft, I talk about we have a new product informations. I really focus on those, and some of the new product information, some of customer success stories. Similarly, look for those new build cards which are really valuable information for your employees, and keep the fresh and compelling. For example, let's not keep the data for months and months, which is not relevant. Even uh, sometimes employees really think, okay, this the tech, the feature sets which is being utilized is not being even changed, or it's not being updated. So giving the fresh, updated information is obviously will drive a successful adoption. Then prioritize the mobile experience. You will see. I'll show you in the coming slides the employee experience and the desktop experience. It's similar. There's no change. uh, Obviously, we know the frontline workers. Every customer have nowadays a frontline workers. All of us use mobiles heavily. So prioritize the mobile experience and pin only the right time. When exactly you require those feature sets, and pin those. Now, if I talk about the first option, for example, plan resource and a team for weekly usage and cadence. Now, I mean, we have seen some of the. I mean, if you see the tips here, uh, and if you I mean, in engagements with the customers, we have we have taken out few indicators. How we can successfully drive adoption into the employees. For example, prepare an expense report or check in. If you see here an average, frequently do you expect of your employees to? What are they looking for? Are they looking for a cafeteria menus? Are they looking really some paychecks or health insurance claims, or leaving vacation is very very highly utilized app, right? And then also we have some analytics features in the roadmap link will obviously allow some unique active users who are really looking for some particular information. Then unique engaged user, or the total number of viewers who have interacted with a particular app, or the particular card. And then these points will be shown in last 7 weeks. As I said, 7 days, sorry. As I said, a week sort of information is a good and healthy, because if you kick leave it the information longer, which obviously is updated. For example, a leave application, it it can be left there because that might be common. But some of the information you can see how quickly we can be refreshed. And some of the tips, if you see here on the right side, look on these. If you go from bottom to top, unique engaged user, which has been on last 7 days, keep these two numbers as close as possible. Keep the see who are the unique engaged user again in 20 days, unique active users in last 20 days, and targeted number of employees which you are looking. These are some of the tips which actually really helps the Viva Engage connections uh, to go to go faster, and people can adapt very quickly. Then again, uh, deep engage usage of Viva connection doesn't mean that it's successful. Now, as I said, there should be some data points. For example, organization have deployed Viva connections not for strategy or for their employees, and Viva connection obviously, as I said, look for those active users within 8 to 12 weeks time frame. So time frame is an important piece here to look for it. So that some of the data points which needs to be, and this is the recent statistics. If you see, it's a June 2020 last year statistics which I have taken out from. Again, uh, look for those cards which is really helpful for your for your organizations. What are the scenarios your organization, your employees are looking for? The cards, choose those cards. For example, here, if you see here, and when you talk about the adaptive card extensions, that's very critical to achieve satisfaction of an employees within the Viva connections, because ACE gives us a self-contained feature sets where we have a lot of information day in day out, uh, and brings the people these cards in front of and the center. For example, here, if you see on the right side, tasks, Viva learnings, reflections, all these, right, could be at the center of attraction for all the employees, right? Could be some of the major cards. Again, there are some Microsoft provides some broad set of cards which is already being there. You can integrate cards for a broad set of partners. Obviously, you can build your own as well, and then you can run create a new. Now when it comes to the mobile feed, right, I talk about the mobile experience. See what is winning here. uh, it fits for all. We call it the it fits for example, here on the mobile you will see a similar sort of experience. For example, quick, I mean, cafeteria menu, right? It's often being used now at companies. There are a lot of different apps. Again, the dashboard will show you some of the quick experiences, and again, some of the tips. For example, employee experience should be accountable for identify opportunities to increase card. Obviously you might need to go back your employees and ask them their feedback. What are the new things they want to cater into this. But yeah, if you see the mobile one, again, the employee experience, which we talk about the data point, again, that's for example how many cards you would like to see in the dashboard. That's one more experience you would like to have it. Now for example, some of the cards which are out of box available there, which is a first party cards we call it. For example, approvals, right? Approvals is one of the most important tasks people look for it. Assigned tasks, what are the work which is assigned to them. Kudos to typically people use the kudos features. They just want to thanks to the people who help them in day out work. And obviously you can look for some timers as well. There are people who look, for example, when you have start the meeting, just want to look for a timers. And again, top news and some of the learning features. For example, it gives you some idea. For example, you have some approval cards, you have tasks, you have teams apps, you have then shift, and you also have a Viva learning feature sets here where it gives you what is the upcoming trainings for you, and some of the HR information. For example, any queries with respect to the HR or any leave applications or something like that, it can gives you a wibbling. And all those, I mean, if you see a different cards will have a different uh, uh, you know uh, tasks available. I will say different uh, you know highlights available to it. Again, you can take the advantage of ecosystem broadly. If you want to build your own, some of them it's already there. You can do an integration. For example, Qualtrics I talk about, right? Blue work, ServiceNow is very popular nowadays. There are a lot of integrations been happening in on the ServiceNow. Again, there are third-party applications where customer can take benefit of it and utilize it. Okay, this is again one of the feature sets. For example, help desk tickets, right? This is one of the example which we have done recently. This is if you see the flow here. A person has on the card, click on the create a help ticket, and then it quickly got a menu open which actually helps him to create a help a ticket. And it also showcases him what are the 3 pending tasks and the incident information, or information as well. So if you see here, a quick and very combined and very comprehensive task, I mean a flow, while just which is in front of you, create a new help ticket. It sums up all the information, gives you all the information, whatever is correlated with that, creating a new ticket. And again, example again, a card which helps to drive quickly an employee or quickly a user to get the work done. Now again, this is again a example out of possible office locations. For example, you click on the office locations. How many office locations we have? You can click view. You can see, okay, headquarters. Even you can see the longitude and latitude details where exactly. Then can get directions, contact managers, more details. For example, if you want to see, do we have any help desk available onto those office into that office as well? Yeah, again, the connected information helps employees, all users, to get quickly the work instead of searching those web informations, right? People obviously do that. They try to search information, and sometimes it is not relevant to what you are looking for, and even time consuming. Sometimes it takes up minutes or hours to get the right set of information. But again, here you have a right set of information because it's already posted out there for a particular purpose. And again, one of the feature sets, for example, here there's a list of orders, how many orders it is already there. You can click OK, I have a list of orders which I've already booked, and you can see what is closed, what is inserts, how much, what is processed, and what is shipped. Even you can manage the orders there itself in a one click in the card itself. For example, show order, or manage a new order you want to and update the information right and there onto the card itself, instead of going back and forth again those web pages and all. Helps you to galleries, sort of a solution here, gives you a quick easy access to the right set of information. Again, if you the people like the traveling is one of the the I would say really important feature set. People really travel across, and all the tickets which they need to book, right? Again, for example, take a time day off, you have the options in front of you. Look for the tickets, or you will look for the holidays, sick days. You want to submit that, the leaves, and it also gives you the idea of what is your current balance. For example, if I want to submit a sick leave here, I already have that enough information available with me. Do I need to look for a sick leave, or do I need to look for a period of time or a wellness information? So you can just submit it and it's all gone. It's again sort of approval based options which is available in the card. Again, so one sort of an example. Here again, we are leveraging connections. um, uh, you can edit the card there. For example, here you have some other information. Edit the card, move the card. So for the audience, it actually allows you to define the strategic or dynamic group users to make sure that some cards can be only seen by particular users, or it is seen for I mean, obviously it's a relevant sort of information. Some information might not be relevant to particular amount of users. Some might be. So again, you can target the audience based on the static and dynamic groups which user can utilize. All right, so some of the tips when it comes to the design a compelling value proposition that takes into account, identify or build ACE cards that delivers the value proposition. Obviously, you need to understand what are your those ACE cards which will drive the value proposition in your environment. For example, a couple few cards which we shown it, right? It really helps some of the customers. If I talk about the previous ones, for example, this one, it could be very helpful for the companies, for example, Amazon, or some companies which really work on those order capabilities as well. So again, people who are in shipping will really helpful this sort of the cards. Again, remember to provide scenarios to the frontline workers. Obviously, the frontline workers will be highly utilized because the cards is easy for them to manage them, to work on them. Again, provide those scenarios which will be really helpful for the frontline, and ask us feedbacks again, what sort of information they are relevant to them, and consider leveraging ISV cards to increase value and reduce cost times of building. Now, coming back to point third, which is keep a fresh and compelling. As I said that what sort of information should be there available, how much of time. If you see this slide, uh, less than a week is best. We have really figured out a fresh content with respect to the for example, here some of the new news items, right? Don't really want to look for the old news items which is there in the month and months, which is not relevant, or some other information. For example, if I talk about the Microsoft again, I give just an example of the Microsoft. We have some product features, right? We just publish it. Now it might be not relevant after 1 week because that's already gone, that's already published, customers knows it. We just want a fresh card. What is the next? What's the next thing coming into the Microsoft? What are the new feature sets? What are the new updates coming to the Microsoft, right? Or the particular product? That will be more compelling, and obviously, people will adopt the product quickly because they will look for those products, the new thing information coming in. And again, teach your users to engage with new feed posts, for example, provide a response pack, or is there anything, comments on particular information. And you can utilize both of feedback, news feed or post options, even on mobile, or even, and it also has a capability you can utilize the add the mention a particular user for a particular relevant information. Again, news feedback again, feeds that takes from Yammer as well. Now, the news which we take it from the product, for example, the connection, if you see the news items here, it directly comes from the Yammer itself and gives you the great resources for fresh information and all, and gives you some new post announcements which is on there in there into the Yammer post. For example, Yammer is typically right utilized for news feeds or company announcements or some certain information which are relevant to the particular group or entire organization. You can bring that particular feed directly into the connection dashboard and look for the feed option here, and you'll see those some of the information. Again, tips: increase engagement by balancing corporate content with non-user content. For example, what is relevant, the content information uh, which is the corporate work which you have. For example, in the corporate information, what is relevant to that, instead of the external information or like that. Again, when it comes to the increasing news visibility, Viva Connections again reads how you can boost the news items, increase engagements. You can plan your boost strategy carefully. Again, for example, here, if you want to boost a particular post, you can just click on it, and again, post in this order. You will have people, organization looking for in the home portal. This may be obviously a good idea to democratize boosts and all. And again, displays the good, the top information on in there. Again, tips: identify resources or roles who are look for those best feeds, and create a quality value infused posts. That's the important thing. Again, achieve weekly, as I said, weekly. See what the relevant information when it is required, and till when it is relevant. Leverage Yammer posts, right? Streams, and foster reasonable, moderate personal content. Posts from the user. Yeah, mobile experience again. I discussed this a slide earlier. Again, employee experience data point. Viva Connection mobile user engagement is double that of our desktop users, because there is this sense in typically in employees that the desktop experience might be a far better than what is mobile. But no, if you see the content here in the next slide, you will have the dashboard, you will have the feed, you will have the resources on same thing here. And if you look at the mobile, gives you more I would say a unified view, and easy for a frontline workers, right? So again, uh, dashboard shows you the different view on a mobile and desktop. So why is mobile better for engagement? Again, the value proposition to increase users, typically, because frontline workers really use them. Ace cards, the mobile experience obviously around the feed with the sweeping gesture and all, because it's easy to write sweeping gestures which we have in mobile. We can have a very, I mean, all the feature sets are very in the fingerprints. And frontline workers, right? Only way to interact with the connections and information workers tells us can focus on the mobile app. In contrast, they have a lot with distractions on their desktop, because in desktop you might have seen multiple applications. Mobile just gives you a one unite view, uh, which actually helps focus onto the particular work. Again, include mobile deployment as part of your key Viva connection strategy, and ensure dashboard experience are optimized for mobile user. Obviously, we don't have too much of information on the mobile users as well, which really is not helpful for the frontline workers. Pin, but only at the right time. Again, pinning, bringing connections to attention your users, but does not necessarily generate lasting engagement. For example, if you see the data point here, 74 of connections weekly active user usage comes from a customers who have pinned the Viva Connections app. So pinning an app is obviously gives you an experience, and obviously the utilizations and adoption as well. Again, tips pinning work, but only if it is value proposition already exists or not. So again, if you see some of the here, conversely pinning an app once the value proposition is cut. Sorry, any questions? Sorry. Okay. Again, tips. Don't pin until you have designed and implemented solid value proposition, because if you send the raw data there, it might not be helpful. Users might not feel a helpful information. Again, sync pinning with the mobile deployment adoption. For example, if you have uh, some of the apps which are pinned on desktop apps, again, try to sync pinning with the mobile deployed options as well, and use Teams app policies to test experience. For example, whether we publish to all the small subsets or to the entire organization. Again, look for that information on the team policy level. Again, when it comes to the successful Viva Connection customers, which we discussed, right? Plan for resources your team for weekly usage cadence. For example, some of the resources employee who already are experienced lead from planning phases onwards, and resources, uh, for example, who outcomes is the multiple activities per week, and set the track target. For example, what are the analytics, and obviously analytics will give you some information who are and what are the targeted user who are really utilizing more of these apps. And then second, identify build cards, which we talk about, just summing up those all the 5 options, and utilize best value proposition cards, keep the fresh information, whether you are leveraging from Yammer or Stream or Post. And then mobile, right? Keep the connect experience, uh, the connection experience, ensure the dashboard feed experience are optimized for mobile, because it should not be, again, as I said, heavy sort of information should not be there. It should be what is relevant with your employees for mobile. And obviously pin, but not at the right time. With that, it's all with my slides. We are open for the questions.